This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, however you would like to be addressed, and welcome back to Bills with Books. As always, we will have our normal segments that we usually provide you great information with. We have some good information in our segments today, and to let you know, kind of what we're reading, what we're loving, and all the bookish chaos in between that you love from Bianca and I. And we're going to dive into something perfectly cozy for our season, and we're going to be talking about Miss Marley, A Christmas Ghost Story, which is a prequel to The Christmas Carol. And we'll even chat about the book, The Christmas Carol, and kind of the whole Marley backstory, with a slight Dickens classic discussion itself. Of course, I can't do that alone. So if you want to, while I welcome my lovely, beautiful co-host, go grab a drink, settle in, and let's get to it, because here is Bianca.
Hello.
How's
life up there in the north?
Oh, well, I mean, we're really not. We're still part of the South here, but
Yeah, north.
More north. Yeah, I am definitely more north than you are. But
how was the parade? You said you were in a parade.
I was. I drove a float in the Christmas parade. Well, it was a car, but I was an entry in the Christmas parade yesterday.
What float was it?
It was from my mother's store. My mother is a manager for Farmers Home Furniture.
Oh.
And they are required to have an entry so that they are part of the community. And she was going to have to drive by herself, and she was very nervous about that. Which I will say, I've never been the person driving in a parade before. I've been in a hometown parade a bunch. That is nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking. There was a State Farm truck in front of us, and they were throwing these like foam little footballs,
Yeah.
And they were doing a great job of throwing them. The two ladies in the back, and then there was a young man like walking with them, like helping like toss candy, and like if a ball went astray, he'd like kick it so like that it was safe. And they were doing an excellent job, so I don't want anybody to come after them. But there were children that were like, the ball wouldn't quite make it to them, so they would like run in the middle of the road. And I get that I'm only going 3 miles an hour, but I could still have hurt somebody really bad, right?
Yeah.
And these children would literally like dart in front of my car to grab this football. With these kids were telling them like, no, don't. Like the boy that was like walking with the truck, he was like, no, I'll get it. And he would be like, he would try to, but the amount of children and adults that just jumped out in front of my car for a football or candy was exasperating. Like,
well, I'm glad you and all of the children survived.
Yeah, my mom kept going, Maria. And I was like, I am watching. I am like that. My nerves. It wasn't bad though. It was very well done. It's put on locally by the Kiwanis Club. I used to participate in this thing growing up every year, but I realized yesterday I was standing out here. So I got home, what was it, like November or October 16th. So I've been home for not quite 2 months. And this is the first time in 21 years I have participated or been at my small hometown Christmas parade.
Wow.
I know. I moved away when I was 19 because I married military. So
yeah.
So I was like 21 years. And then the problem is, so there's a bunch of people like, I haven't publicly like announced on like social media, other than like I've mentioned it publicly on my TikTok, like, hey, I'm back. But not everybody knows that, and not everybody is on TikTok. And so I had been home from the parade for about 2 hours last night, and my phone wouldn't stop going off because there were all these people like, that was you driving in the parade, right? Like, why are you here? What are you doing? What is happening right now? Like, that was you, right? And I was like, yeah, that was me. Hi. My mom said we should have just put a banner on the car that's like, she's back. I even had somebody I've known like forever. He looked at me. He looked dead at me, and he goes, you were messing with my brain, because I walked up to him and was like, hey, do you have any masking tape by any chance? These banners are not wanting to stay in my car, like when we were just like prepping at the high school. And he looked dead at me, and he goes, my brain is short circuiting because you're standing in front of me, but you're not supposed to be here. So I want to look at you and go, what is your name? But I know your name because I know you. But he's like, but you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be in Europe. Why are you here? Like, yeah, yeah. About that. Anyway, you got some masking tape? So yeah, it was interesting to say the least. I learned I'm really good at throwing candy canes at kids, like without hitting them, like properly getting them the goods.
I was like, maybe you should say to kids instead of at kids.
Well, I mean, there were some people may or may not have been thrown at them. Listen, reminder to anyone that doesn't know this, my graduating class was 177 people. We all be knowing each other. There are a few people that I was really hoping I could peg right in the forehead, but it did not happen. And that's okay because I'm supposed to be jolly and loving and giving this season, so.
You were just jollily tossing candy canes.
I was actually, I really did. I did a great job. I tried because we had a lot of them, but not enough, which I was totally blown away by. It was a rather large parade. My little town has like really upped its ante in the 21 years since I have participated. But there were a lot of people, and I have to send you a picture of what I wore. I have this like jumpsuit that's black and white, like everybody kept calling me Mrs. Claus, and it's got a Jack Skellington on the front of it.
Of course you wear that to a Christmas parade.
Yes, I did. And I had a sequined Santa hat. I was holly jollying it up in there, blasting Last Christmas, I was blasting Christmas music for my brand new car. It was fun. It was fun. It really was. It was fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
Thank you. I mean, and then I shoved my food with face afterwards and watched Secret Wives of Mormon Lives, or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
There's a couple of girls at work that watch that too. And
you do know me, Hope, Kat, and Brittany have a separate Discord now just to talk about it.
Yes, I am aware. I'm like, y'all enjoy your trash TV.
Listen, it's like the only trash TV I watch. I don't watch any of the rest of it, but like that. I love it so much. Yeah. We should shout out Hope and say happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Hope. Her birthday was yesterday.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Friday.
Friday. It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. So anyway, yeah, happy birthday to our lovely Hope. She's one of our fantastic loyal listeners, but she's also our good friend. We've talked about her before. We've been to several things together. We did Hamilton. We went and met Colleen Hoover together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so we do have some book stuff to discuss.
We do.
The first one is that the New York Times put out their annual list of 100 notable books of the year, and this year is 2025, obviously.
Do you want to go down the full list, or do you just want to say which ones that we have read or would like to read?
I was just going to mention some highlights because it's a whole list.
Go check it out.
If you Google New York Times 100 notable books of 2025, it's the first link that pops up.
We put the link in the show notes, I think, without getting into trouble.
Yeah, I can do that real quick before I forget. That's a smart idea, Miranda. Look at you. If my computer
sometimes my brain works. Sometimes.
Well, my computer's not wanting to work. What are you doing? There we go.
It does what it wants. It was trying this earlier with us. It was testing our patience.
Okay.
There's some good ones on here. I'm just...
And they do have a good mix of fiction and nonfiction.
I agree.
For everybody. The first one that caught my eye was Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang.
Yes!
By Kylie Leigh. I'm glad that made the list because this book has been on my TBR for a little while.
Same.
And Buffalo Hunter by
I'm actually reading
Stephen Graham. Oh, are you?
I am. I'm reading it now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'll have to let me know how it is. Because that one is about Native Americans, right?
Yes, it's like a horror. It matches up kind of like horror and like Stephen Graham Jones does horror, but it's kind of like past fiction has mashed up horror genres, and it's very heavy Native American, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but they say it's for fans of, if you liked The Hunger by Alma Katsu, or if you liked Fool's Crow by James Welch. I'm about a fourth of the way in. Right now, they're kind of going over, they're like telling you who like this character is, and then they're reading some like interview questionnaire kind of things to you. But I'm really enjoying it.
Okay. Next is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab.
Oh, you have read that one, right?
No, this is her newest one, just came out this year.
Yeah, I have it. I just haven't read it, but I thought you had for some reason.
Nah. One of my friends at work, she was lucky enough to travel that's when she went to Texas. And her first night there, it just happened to work out that V.E. Schwab was doing a book talk on the first night of her book tour for this book.
Oh, wow.
I looked at my friend, I was like, ugh. And I just stared at her. She was like, I know. And then there were a couple of others. This list is super long.
It's super long. So I have one real quick while you're
go ahead.
For the rest of yours. So I was really interested in Death Takes Me by Christina Rivera Garza. It is a translated novel, and it is a detective story, and it has some standard fare of mystery. It says it's like bodies, clues, suspects, but with a feminine twist and kind of an overlay of literary analysis to gruesome killing spree. So I was like, yes, please. Yes, please. Add it to the list. Yeah.
The next two that I wanted to mention, the first one is Isola by Allegra Goodman. This was actually a Reese's book club pick. I forget what month it was for this year, but it's based on an actual historical event that happened, but it is fiction. It's about a French noblewoman who loved the wrong man and was consequently marooned with him on an unforgiving island in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And then next we have R.F. Kuang's Catabasis. I did read this one. Absolutely loved it. But if you are not into academic reading, it will not be for you. I will put it that way. But if you're an academic nerd like myself, you will absolutely love it. Joe Hill is on here for any of those horror fans. I tried to read Joe Hill. I couldn't get into it. I DNF'd that one. That was the one you read. Was it Devils?
Yeah, and I struggled a little. I liked it, but I told you I had the Devils. I had some parts at the front where I was like, I felt like it was being thrown into a story that I was supposed to have already known something, and it wasn't. I went back and was like, was there a prequel? This is book one, right? But I genuinely, and then there were also parts of it that I felt like I was reading something I'd read before. I did like it, but it just took me a really long time to get through it because
I think I read the first 2 chapters and I was like, no, this ain't for me.
Well, I have a real hard time with, I've said this for 3 years. This year, I think I really am going to, if I don't like it, DNF. I just need someone to tell me, like, do you still count that? Like, how do we decide if you still count that? Because like, if I read 100 pages, that's the same as like a novella. I should get credit for something, right?
Oh, see, I only read like 30, so I didn't feel that way about it.
Well, no, I read the whole thing because, like I said, I can't DNF. But in 2026, I want to stop being like, oh, but I can't, and just be like, I DNF'd.
On Fable, I believe you can. I think you can count whatever page. It'll count toward your page count, but not your book count.
Yeah. See,
if that makes sense.
It does. But to me, I'm like, well, if I read enough of it that I read a novella, that should count as a book count. But I think that's like that's like an internal debate between like book people, because I think that's just one of those, like, everybody feels different.
Yeah. The next one I'll mention is Silvery Leap by Danny Francis. This one has gone semi-viral, I would say. I see this cover all the time, like everywhere. But it's a romantasy. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it. I was like, I don't think I know that one. Okay, I do now. Go ahead.
Yeah. The only reason I haven't picked this up is because people are very divided. Like, they either super love it or super hate it. Like, there's no one in between that I can find. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to sit on my list for a while until I decide, hey, I want to try that.
I'm in the mood. I want to go for it. Yeah.
Another one is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
Yep.
This was Haymitch's story for the Hunger Games. That was so good.
I still haven't done it, only because I had like 5 different ones of you text me and go, you're going to cry. And I'm like, well, I'm not prepared for this right now. Not.
It is the saddest of the Hunger Games books so far.
But I loved Haymitch. So
it is so devastating. I hope Suzanne is done with this world now, because if she gives me any of the other tributes games that I'm even remotely interested in, I don't think I'm going to make it through. Ugh, that was heartbreaking. Let's see. Scroll. Ooh, I'm interested in this one just because the cover looks cool. It's Venetian Vespers by John Banville. It is set in Venice in the winter of 1900, and it's about a British driver's account of his ill-fated marriage to an American heiress who vanishes from their palazzo. Dun, dun, dun.
Interesting.
I think, did you read this one, Victorian Psycho by Virginia Fito?
I have it on my list, but I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my list. So yes, you've seen me post it, but I haven't read it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's on here. It's a macabre novel about a murderous 19th century governess.
There you go. Man. Sorry. Listen. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, and one of your cozies made the list, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana.
Sangu Mandana, she's so great. So great.
Have you read this one?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Was it good? Did you like it?
Yes, I did like it. It. And I think there's a book too. I would say if you liked TJ Klune or Sarah Beth Durst, you should read this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I may add it to my list for next fall. Let's see. Scroll. We're scrolling. Yeah. I am slightly interested in this one for current events. Being Jewish After the Destruction of Gaza, A Reckoning by Peter Beinart.
Yeah.
I do like to keep up with current events. Fun fact about Bianca. And so that one caught my eye.
I like the Margaret Atwood Book of Lies.
Yes. That's her memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret was recently on Dua Lipa's podcast to talk about the memoir. I was like, look at Dua interviewing all these people. Dua Lipa is one of my pop girlies.
I do like Dua Lipa. I think she's fun.
Dua Peep. She just finished up her tour in Brazil. And I feel like she gave them a better show than she gave the U.S. I'm just saying. She went all out for them. I'm still scrolling.
Maybe she felt loved. I'm scrolling as well.
Oh, we do have something for the music nerds, John and Paul, A Love Story in Songs. This, of course, is a tribute to John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Beatles fan. We do have Mark Twain by Ron Chernow. We know, I have seen this book in store, and when I say it is the thickest book I have ever seen in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Ron does not mince words.
Mm-mm.
Which he's that way with all of his books. And I'm like, how do you write this many words? I think my brain would break. Oh, this one, Shattered Dreams, Infinite Hope by Brandon M. Terry. This is about the civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested in reading that one. The Spinach King. What is that?
I don't know.
By John Seabrook. The Rise and Fall of American Dynasty. This appealing memoir of family dysfunction is awash in liquor and leafy greens.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Well, that one's I had one that sounded interesting, but I don't even know what to say after that. This one was The Peep Show. It's The Murders at Rillington Place. It's by Kate Summerskill. It's a stranger than fiction case that unpacks a series of sensational murders that rocked the 1950s London. After 4 bodies were discovered in North Kensington apartment, when the public realized that 2 bodies had been found at the same address 4 years prior, and the investigators unearthed the bones of more victims in the garden, the tabloids went wild. This is actually a case that I was familiar with, and this book is new. Obviously, it's from this year, but I haven't read it, and I really want to. But
you can find all of these and more, because we only picked out not even half. We didn't even go half.
No, we didn't even go half.
But look up the New York Times Most Notable Books of 2025 and see which ones you want to add to your list.
And I think it's safe to say that since the link will be in the show notes, Bianca will not be typing out all of these books that we're talking about on this list in the show notes like we normally do, because they're part of the 100 notable books. She'll do any other books that we talk about that aren't this or the Goodreads list. So
yes. And speaking of Goodreads, the Goodreads Choice Awards happened during our break of podcasting for the month. I will also put that link in our show notes as well. This is fan nominated, so everyone and their mother could vote for their favorites. And there's 2 rounds of voting. And we have concluded with 9 different categories.
I just have to say, this felt really quick this year. Like, I feel like last year, because we said something about, we'll vote on when we record. And then I realized, like, wait, it'll be done. Yeah. And I don't know. I know it's normal that there's a opening round, a final round of winners announced.
It only lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah. It felt really fast this time.
They were like, okay, let's get this out of the way.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, it just felt really fast. So go for it.
So in fiction, the winner was My Friends by Frederick Bachman.
Have not read.
I haven't either. In historical fiction, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Mm-hmm. I did vote for that one, but I haven't read it yet.
We both have no, because it's on the way. It's coming in your Christmas package, even though it's not part of your Christmas. It's coming in your Christmas.
Okay. But I was like, I'm voting for Taylor. I don't care who else is in the category. Taylor's getting my vote. If there's a woman named Taylor, I'm going to like her. In mystery and thriller, we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson.
I didn't vote for that one, but I do like Holly Jackson, so well done.
I'll have to look and see what I voted for. I'll look at that in a second. Romance, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Yay, golf clap. Woo-hoo. Romantasy was I think that was a new category from last year. I think they officially added Romantasy.
I think it was just last year or the year before, but it's been very, very recent.
Yeah. But Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
I think we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Once I saw all the others, I was like, no, Rebecca's got that one.
Well, I mean, the others were great options, but it was like, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah. In fantasy, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. Science fiction, Aisling Raw. Oh, The Compound by Aisling Raw. I've never heard of that one.
I had neither. I did not vote for that one at all. I actually voted for Automatic Noodle.
I voted for James Islington. Yeah. But finally in the horror category, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix.
Yes. This is a tough book, but it was a really good book.
Stephen King did not win.
Yeah, I know. God. I think I gave this book I think I gave it 3.5 stars, but Goodreads will say I only gave it 3 because they don't do half stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually was the one I voted for. So
debut novel, Alchemized by Cindy Yu.
That's a audio.
Yes, it is. I looked at that and I was like, whoa.
I have it. I have not done it yet because that is a commitment and a half.
Audiobook, Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
As it should be.
Who narrated it?
I can pull that up on my Audible.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know narrators, but I know some of our listeners are audiobook people.
Oh yeah, I've talked about it before, and a narrator can make or break it, and I was very pleased with the narrator on this one. Let's see. It actually had multiple. We had Jasmine Walker, Justice Bolding, Teddy Hamilton, and Rebecca Soler. Rebecca Soler actually has done a lot. Okay. She did your Stephanie Garber books.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll talk about one of those later in the episode.
She's for any reference, she's a great for anybody wanting a narrator to get into. Rebecca Soler, I highly recommend.
In young adult fantasy and sci-fi, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
Kind of no surprise.
Young adult fiction is Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. Nonfiction, Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green.
Do love a John Green. I love both the Green brothers, actually.
Yeah. In memoir, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frank. And finally, history and biography is How to Kill a Witch. I don't see the author for that. Is it it's Zoe?
By Claire Mitchell and Zoe Vindazzi?
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, Zoe. Or Zoe. It could be Zoe. I'm very sorry. But I mean, it sounds like a really good book. I marked it as my want to read. And I did vote for it because I read the synopsis and was like, I would absolutely read that. So
out of these, I've read Great Big Beautiful Life, Onyx Storm, and Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yeah.
So I feel like 3 new reads for 2025 isn't bad for the winners.
Yeah, no. Mine was Wayward Girls, Sunrise on the Reaping, and Onyx Storm. And then I had 3 of these already on.
Oh, you said you hadn't read Sunrise.
No, wait. I thought Sunrise was the one with the... No, is that Hamish?
Yeah.
No, okay. I read the other one. Sorry. Sorry, for some reason I thought it was the other one that we did. That was the bird. What's it called?
The bird?
And does it have something bird in the title? Songbird?
Oh, Songbirds and Snakes.
Yes, I was thinking that one. Sorry. You're right. I have not read it. I was thinking of the other one, which was also kind of sad and debatable on what we think happened at the end there.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But once again, I will not be listing those books, but you can just go to Goodreads, and it's literally the top banner is 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards at the top.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what I voted for in mystery and thriller. Are you going to show me?
If you click on it, it'll say like it's got like a little sticker, and it says your pick or your choice.
Oh, maybe I did pick that one. Oh no, I picked Alice Feeney, Beautiful Ugly.
Gotcha.
Because while I haven't read that one, I do like Alice Feeney books. I've read a few of them. I'm surprised you didn't vote for Geneva Rose.
I did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I did.
Okay. Well, that was interesting. Okay. So that is it for award season for now. I think there's a couple of other ones that are going to come out in the new year that we may discuss in our January episode. Mm-hmm. But now we're going to move into Adaptation Minute because there were a lot of announcements. Literally the Monday after we recorded, a bunch of announcements came out.
Yeah, it was like whoa. Drop it like it's hot. Yeah, it was like crazy. It was crazy.
So first we have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros is going to go to Amazon MGM. It was evidently in a very heated battle to see who would get it. And she actually is starting, I read this somewhere, she started her own production company. I forget what it was called. Where'd it go?
It's kind of smart for people to do, like authors to do that because...
Well, it's because almost every one of her books is now optioned or going to film.
Right.
So she's like, hey, I might as well cash in on this so I don't...
Well, you get to keep a lot of creative control that way.
Yeah. But they haven't announced, like, anything beyond that, but it is officially being made. Another Rebecca Yarros adaptation, Variation, is also going to Amazon, and it's going to be from the screenwriter that did It Ends With Us. Christy Hall, that's her name.
Well...
We can't blame Christy Hall for the mistakes of that movie.
No, but we've talked about it before, and it's like the mistakes of that movie and all of the stuff that were surrounding that movie kind of like clouds everything.
Yeah, it overshadows everything now.
It does. So, like, I hope that she gets the just desserts that she should because she did a great job writing the screenplay. She really did. It's not her fault, but I hope people don't go, ooh, like I just did, because I didn't mean to, but I did.
Next, the Go Away ad. I do not want K jewelry. Rude. Next, we have The Bodyguard by Catherine Center.
Mm-hmm.
It is going, does it say where it's going? It doesn't, but it's going to star Leighton Meester, Jared Padalecki, and Andy McDowell. So it has a stacked cast.
It does.
I believe that's a little rom-com book. Oh, it's going to be Netflix. It'll be a Netflix movie.
Well, we just had a quick little brief discussion about Netflix, didn't we? Don't come for me, Netflix. But I'm just saying, since you're rolling in that Warner Brothers money now, if you want to give me and Bianca free Netflix so we could talk about your adaptations, we'd be glad to. But, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's all you can do is say.
That's all I can say.
Next, Anne Rice's Cry to Heaven is going to be Tom Ford's next film.
Yes.
And this is another stat cast with Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Adele.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Adele, what are you doing here?
It is a historical novel set in the 18th century Italy. It's about male castrated opera singers focusing on two men, Tonio and a young Venetian noble who is castrated as a form of revenge. Yeah.
Oh. I was is this a vampire book? It is not.
It is not a vampire book. Okay. It's been a long time since I've read it, and she likes to do things where she intertwines a lot of stuff, but it's been a long time since I've read this book. I think it was published in 1982. I wasn't even born yet. And usually I'm like, man, I'm so old. And this time I'm like, it's older than me. Woohoo! It is 533 pages long for anyone that thinks they might want to read this before the movie comes out. But also, just so you know, Anne Rice, be weird. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think
I've said that many times here before as a Anne Rice stan. She be weird.
Well, this film is currently in pre-production in London and Rome, but it has an anticipated late autumn 2026 release. So less than a year.
Yeah.
And the last one is Sony has landed the movie rights to James Islington's Hierarchy fantasy book series. Mm-hmm. The first one was Will of the Many. The second one just came out. It's called Strength of the Few. So I will be interested to see what they do with this. I haven't read it yet, but it's probably, I'll talk about this a little bit later. It'll probably be what I end the year on, is reading the first one. That way I can go straight into the second one.
Nice. And I have one tiny bit of book news that I don't even know if you saw this video on I think you did, because I think you reposted it, but I posted a video on our TikTok the other day that actually didn't do as well as I thought it would. And I think it's because I'm kind of sort of stitching someone. And I've noticed sometimes if you don't have a lot of followers, those don't do super well. Not saying we don't have a lot of followers. We have more than I thought we would. But there is an author on there, and her name is Marcy McCreary. And her husband actually has Alzheimer's, and he was an author himself before his Alzheimer's started affecting his ability to write. His name is Lou McCreary, and I have been following her from our Bells with Books page for a while, but I've not ever read anything of hers or Lou's. But I saw her post that she made the other day, and one of the last books that Lou put out is called The 13th Step, and it is a mystery crime thriller. And she is going to take the proceeds from all of the books that are sold for this whole month, and she's going to be donating it to the Alzheimer's Association in his name. And Alzheimer's freaks me out. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how another way to put it, but it really terrifies me. And she just seemed so loving, and you could just see the love that she had for her as a husband when she was talking about how he can't write anymore. So what I decided to do is I bought 4 copies of Lou's book so that I could help her with her goal of donating all the proceeds to the Alzheimer's Association. And I'm giving 2 of them away on our TikTok. One of them is a gift for someone. One of them I will be donating to the local library to have inside the library. And 2 of them I'm giving away on our TikTok, which I may slide the video over on our Instagram too. So if everybody would go to our TikTok, I know we normally say this at the end of the show, but I wanted to add this into news because I don't have a set date. I'm probably going to let this go the whole rest of the month, but I'm going to give away 2 copies. I will ship it myself. I'd like it to stay inside the US. If you're international, maybe if you're just willing to pay for shipping, you can still win, but sorry, I'm not internationally. We used to open it up to everybody because Bianca was in America and I was here and it was easy, but international shipping be expensive.
Yes, it is.
We're both. Yeah, she's mailed me packages and asked her how many times they've been returned. So, if you are international and you would like to enter, go watch the video on how to enter. And maybe we can coordinate something where you just pay for shipping. But obviously it's open to anyone, in the US. And it was how could I help them, raise the funds that they wanted to. And there's like no set goal. She just wants to give all proceeds. So yeah, it's called if you're interested in just picking up a copy for yourself or someone because it is still Christmas shopping time, it is The 13th Step by Lew, L-E-W, McCreary. And it came really fast. I ordered them from Amazon. I ordered 4 copies and I had them within like 2 days of ordering them. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Good luck. We have a couple of entries so far, so keep them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since it is Christmas time, we wanted to cover something Christmassy.
Yeah.
And we were like, what's more Christmas than A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens? But we didn't want to be super basic with it.
Well, because I feel like everybody, even if you haven't read A Christmas Carol, you've either seen some version of the adaptation, right? Like there's so many out there.
There are over 100 different adaptations.
Yes.
I looked it up.
Yes, there are. What is your favorite one? Like of all the ones that you've seen?
The one with Patrick, oh crap, what's his name? Star Trek guy.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, thank you. I kept wanting to say Patrick Dempsey.
Oh my God.
That is the wrong Patrick.
Not McDreamy. Although my mother will say he is McDreamy for her, but
but yes, the one with Patrick Stewart, that is my absolute favorite adaptation.
I'll accept that, but okay.
What's
the correct answer would be A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
What the crap was that? Did you hear that?
I heard that too, and I was like, well, okay, she doesn't approve. Okay, fine then. Like, well.
That was an ad.
That was the ghost of Jacob Marley coming to tell us not to talk about his adaptations anymore.
Let me close that tab before that happens again.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I heard that too. I was like, well then, okay.
Oh, that scared the bejesus out of me.
That was Jacob Marley. Ooh.
I'm glad I went to the bathroom before we started recording.
2 days in a row, Bianca's been terrified by something.
Okay.
God. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So my answer is like, in my opinion, like the best answer. No, seriously. No, I like A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay.
It's great. It's great. Come on, tell me it's not. It's great. It's great.
Fun fact: I've never seen it.
Oh my.
I think I killed Miranda.
You killed me. You staked me in the heart.
Literally, the only Muppet thing I told Kat this the other day. The only Muppet thing I have ever watched was the Haunted Mansion. And that was because my friends Sarah and Sabrina made me watch it one Halloween a couple of years ago.
I'm broken. Never. So my TikTok the other day with talking about Miss Piggy would have done the hi-ya. I can't finish that because we try to stay clean here. Well, it's not that it's not a dirty. Anyway, you know what it's about. Anyway, just go watch my TikTok. So you didn't get it, did you?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I was just like, okay.
Miss Piggy karate chops people that like get on her nerves or she thinks they're causing a problem. She goes, hi-ya! And she
like I know Miss Piggy is like a diva. I know that much.
Yeah. I love Miss Piggy.
And I know Kermit, and that's about it.
Rainbow Connection. Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad that's your favorite though, Miranda.
I love the Muppets. I actually have a Muppet podcast here on this channel with Andy, who we will be now that we're both in. Yeah. Yeah, I huge Muppet fan here, but my heart is crushed, but it's okay.
I've sat through the Muppet Show at Disney quite a few times.
Acceptable. I did love that one. I got to see that before they took it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realize how many adaptations there were to a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. So, have you ever fully read a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol?
Yes. Because it is like a short novella. It is.
It is not long at all. I mean, everyone knows the basic legitimate or like the basics of the story. We meet Scrooge. He's this miserly man. He's horrible to like everybody in the town village. He is horrible to his workers. He's bah humbug, and he gets met by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, showing him like, here's what happened in the past, and we understand that, but you got to move on. Here's what's happening right now that you're not even paying attention to because you're so like miserly in your own world. And like, here's the future. If you continue down the path that you are, here's how you're going to be remembered. Here's what's going to happen. And it basically like shocks the shit out of him, for lack of a better phrase. And we get, a very warm, loving, more kind Scrooge at the end of the story. So.
And just to give a little backstory on Charles Dickens, the author himself. He is basically his own rags to riches story.
He is.
He was born in Portsmouth in February 1812 to John and Elizabeth Dickens. Up until the age of 9, he had a pretty normal childhood, but after the age of 9, his father was imprisoned for being a debtor, and he was forced to go work in a factory.
That just blows my mind that you could go to jail for being in debt because you were poor. You were poor. You went to jail for being poor. Let's just call it what it was. Like,
basically. He had to quit school to work in this factory and help support the family. He was able to return to school after 3 years, but the experience working in the factory stayed with him, and it's the inspiration for a lot of his novels, including David Copperfield, Great Expectations, and it even works its way into Christmas Carol. He started his early career as a journalist. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care about any of that. He got like so famous in England that he eventually started even entertaining the Queen herself. And he became a household name, and he did a lot of, I'll say, social work, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
He was heavily involved in improving factory conditions, child labor. He was against slavery in the U.S. He even went on tours throughout Europe talking about all the different conditions that people were working in.
Mm-hmm.
He was estranged from his wife in 1858 after the birth of their 10 children.
Oh,
he did maintain good relations with his mistress, who is an actress, Ellen Ternan. He died of a stroke in 1870 and is currently buried at Westminster Abbey.
Yes. How do you have 10 children? Just like...
That's a lot of kids, y'all.
That's a no thanks.
Some other fun facts just regarding A Christmas Carol in general. This was just one of several Christmas-themed stories that Charles Dickens wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Novella's full title is A Christmas Carol in Prose, being a ghost story of Christmas. He did write this in just 6 weeks, and he spent a lot of his time like thinking about and writing about while he was taking nighttime walks around London. It was popular when it was first published, like it became an instant bestseller back in the day, but he didn't really make a whole lot of money off of it because he was so particular of how he wanted it printed. Like he wanted a certain kind of binding and a certain kind of ink used and all that good stuff. And that pretty much ate into all of his profits. So he didn't really become like super financially successful from it.
He basically was like, I know what I want and I know how I want it. And if it's not that way, it's, it's not worth it for me.
And then speaking of being a debtor, the very first bound copy, like his original manuscript that was like handwritten and everything, he had it bound with special crimson leather and decorated in gold. And he gifted it to his friend and creditor, Thomas Mitten, who he inscribed his name on the cover of it too. And then you can actually see a copy of it. I'll send you the link if you want to look at it, Miranda, with me. I don't think I sent you this one.
Well, there's one you sent me. It's like a red.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's from the Morgan Library and Museum. But it has, you can look this up on your own, ladies and gentlemen. But if you go to themorgan.org and type in Christmas Carol, it'll pop up there. But you can see his original handwritten notes, where he scratched stuff out, where he added stuff in, and you can see the red leather and the gold engraving that he gifted his friend.
It's really cool because the ink, even you can see where the ink like bled onto like the page before it, kind of thing, like where it was laying on the fresh ink. It's hard to read, but if you zoom in, like
you can.
Yeah, there's like a little audio to it as well, but it's just like a brief description of like. It's really neat. It's really neat.
Yeah. But with all that being said, we didn't want to read just A Christmas Carol. We're like, let's find a different retelling of this story.
I think a lot of people have already covered A Christmas Story, basically. Like, obviously, there's 100 adaptations, as Bianca said. So, I mean,
yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And I think Miranda was the one to find this. We chose, I'll say the short name, Miss Marley by Vanessa Lafaye. Mm-hmm. And it's a short novel. It was only 100 and some pages. I read it in literally like 3 hours one afternoon.
Same. I read it in like 2 hours. I was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And you read way faster than I do. But like.
Yeah, I took some breaks.
The audiobook was pretty good too. Like I did both.
Okay.
I redid the audiobook just because like yesterday, day before, because I read it like a few weeks ago. I'll just give like a brief premise and then Bianca and I will talk about it. Because it is a novella. I don't think we'll be here for like a long time talking about it, but I could be surprised. I've been surprised before. But basically our novella tells the story of Clarabelle Marley. She's Jacob's kind of forgotten sister, and it explores how she and Jacob went from poor, hopeful children to adults shaped by hardship. Of course, we're in Victorian London's, and which had a lot of inequalities at the time, and choices that basically kind of ultimately set Jacob on the path towards becoming who he did. This book does create a very emotional bridge between Dickens' world and Marley's ghost, kind of warming up. Oh, and I am being invaded by dogs, so hang on just a second.
I was like, I hear a caller.
Yeah. She has a jingle jangle bell. So you talk to the people for a second.
Okay. I read this on Kindle. Is 112 pages. And actually, after I got done reading it, I had to look up Vanessa Lafaye to see what all she was about. She was born in Florida and studied in North Carolina. She had an obsession with the United Kingdom, and she was there for a while. And she wanted to stay, but she ended up getting deported. But then she eventually permanently moved there in 1999 and getting not a green card, but whatever it is they call it, where she could live
visa.
there. Thank you.
A visa. I had one of them.
She did write 2 other novels, one of which was shortlisted for the Historical Writers Award. Sadly, she passed away in February 2018 before she was actually able to finish this book. And at the end of this one, because I read it on Kindle, there was a little afterword of the woman who did finish the story, and she was friends with Vanessa, and it was a very sweet send off for her.
Let me just say, like preferences, that sweet send off, and then the book itself. I didn't expect this to be as sad as it was.
It was devastating.
It was like from the jump, pretty much. It is pretty devastating. And I apologize for my absence there. Somehow they got the door open and they were like, "We're going to go podcast." Woo! And I was like, no. And it was the 2 that we refer to as Karen and Karen. So I was like, I don't need your help. So yeah, it was pretty sad. I mean, we'll go into it in a second, but we've got like childhood hardships that like off the jump are devastating. We kind of have like kind of rising into the working world, the gap between siblings, Clara's own love and loss. There's just a lot that is really sad about this book. How do you want to break it down and go for it? It's a novella, but how do you want to kind of like move forward with breaking it down?
Well, it's told in 3 different parts. So there's part 1, the beginning, part 2, the middle, and part 3, the end. And then within those parts is broken up into chapters.
Yep.
So we can just go over it. We don't have to go into like super deep detail if you don't want to.
Yeah, because I do think people should read this. So I will say this is obviously going to be giving you spoilers. Before we give spoilers, we gave the overall premise. What did you rate the book?
I gave it 5 stars.
I gave it 4, just because I was like, this is supposed to be a cozy Christmas Prequel. What? I should not be this saddened right now. Like,
well, I think I think I went into it knowing it was going to be sad, and the ending isn't like terrible.
No,
like,
it's not. It's not.
There's just because you obviously know what's going to come next, so there's a little bit of like hope there.
Well, yeah, that's true, because you know, like if you've read A Christmas Carol or watched any of the adaptations, you kind of know like how this probably ends. But at the same time, there was like at the beginning, I'm like, wow, we're here already. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the book opens with
go ahead.
Clarabelle Marley. She's standing outside of a toy store and she's admiring the dolls and doll houses. And she remembers a time before now where she could have had those toys. She came from a very loving family, mother, father, brother. They were just one big happy family. And then you don't know quite yet, but something happened to take that away from her. And now her and her brother that she calls Jake, who is our Jacob Marley, they are now living on the streets, gathering any scraps they can just to survive. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, I like I said, like right off the jump, you're like,
yeah,
wait, we're just going straight into this.
That's in the first 5 pages.
yeah, like immediately. And we learn, I think, within the first like 10 why they're like this, like what is going on with them exactly. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't gonna spoil any of that.
No, we're not. But you read to find out more. But obviously they gotta work. They have to have resilience and they have to work on things. And we know who Jacob Marley becomes, or who Jake Marley becomes. So we know what's going to happen with that. So it's kind of goes into the story of like how they work to survive. There's the harsh realities of London workhouses and, just constant instability. And we kind of go through all of that with them, which I think, and the big thing is like the two of them remaining together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, and this is also excuse me. Speaking of coughing, it's also a consistent thing throughout the book that Clara is always sickly.
Yeah, she has something wrong, and they do manage to like she'll get a bit better when they're luck improves, I guess you could say, like as they and then she'll get worse, and then she'll get better, and then she'll get worse. She clearly has like it's like a cough, like so she has some sort of like breathing. I almost wondered if she has like asthma.
That's what it sounded like, asthma to me.
But it's like during this time they probably wouldn't have known that. And if you go back to this time in London with like all the workhouses and stuff, it's talked about much in history how like the smog was horrible. It was like horrific from all these like factories and workhouses and stuff. And of course they didn't call it asthma then, but if that's what she had, could you imagine like what that would do to your daily life? Like, yeah, just trying to breathe, and that's all you're breathing in every single day is like all this coal and stuff, because all the factories basically worked off of coal.
Well, and they eventually scrounge up enough money to basically open up, I'll call it a pawn shop, where people can come and leave their stuff. And
well, it's like money lending, basically. Yeah.
Clara obviously has a more open heart to help people, while Jacob is, no, you owe us money. Give it to me now type person.
I don't want to say he doesn't have a moral compass, but there's a quote that this is not verbatim, but at like one point in the book, she says to him, well, like we should be, understanding and compassionate because it's Christmas time. And he's like, those people would have never helped us and they wouldn't help us. So why should we like give them any reprieve? Like,
yeah, he's very hardened by what's happened.
Yeah.
To him.
He's very like dog eat dog. Like, he's like, no, like they wouldn't help us. We're not going to help them. Like, it is what it is. We need our money.
Yeah.
Very bitter. That's what it is. He's very bitter.
Yes.
Like his heart has turned pretty black.
And when they open up their own shop, they have the rooms above it that they live in. Mm-hmm. And it's mentioned that Jacob does work every Christmas because it's just another day for him.
Yeah, he says that. Yeah.
He doesn't celebrate it. It's just another day.
He's like, there's nothing special. It's just a day. And I was like, oh, that's so sad.
One cute moment that does happen is Mr. Tom Woodburn, who runs a tea stall that's near
Oh, I
their
love
shop.
him.
He comes up one day and is just like chit-chatting with Clara. And he kind of like asks her out and is flirting with her unexpectedly, and she just like panics and runs away.
I know. I was like, no, girl, no. Like,
and she runs upstairs to her house, and then she sits there and thinks about it, and then she opens up her bedroom window and yells out onto the street, and it's like, yes, I'll go on out with you.
My answer is yes. Yeah. And I was struggling with this at first because the way that they described him, they were like, he's much older. And I was like, what do you mean by much older? Like, because I wasn't sure about how old her and Jake are supposed to be at this point in our story. Yeah. Which is still pretty early on, but I was unsure. And I was like, what do they mean by much older? And then I was like, oh, wait, it's Victorian London. She's probably like 19, 20, maybe a little bit older. And then he's probably only like 30. Yeah. Like, it's like, he's probably not that old.
Yeah.
But it's the way the poor guy's described for a second. It's like, he's much older. And I was like, because Jake's even like, why isn't he married?
What's this creep doing trying to date my sister?
Yeah. And I want to be like, bro, he got money. Like, come on. Like, he can take care of her. Whatever.
Well, and Jacob comes home one day with news that he has acquired an apprenticeship as a bookkeeper at basically a creditor.
No more fishmongering.
Yeah. So Jake takes Clara to meet his co-apprentice, who is Ebenezer Scrooge, and Scrooge's fiance out to lunch or dinner one day. I forget which one it is.
That's a sad story too.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
But Clara and Scrooge's fiance's name is Belle.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately become fast friends. She's like, yes, I like you. We're going to be best friends forever.
Well, it was really cute. She's like, it was meant to be Clara Belle and Belle.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
And Jake and Ebenezer are obviously fast friends, but they have such a weird friendship.
Yes. Which we kind of know from A Christmas Carol as well. Like,
because like they're comfortable working around each other, but they don't share anything about their personal lives.
Okay. To be fair, so Caden has had the same group of friends since he was like 7. And with the exception of a few of them, like being like people that we've made in-person friends at like school or D&D and stuff like that, some of these kids he has only known like online since he was like 7, and they've not all grown together. And it baffles me to this day that there's a lot of them that they still don't know each other's actual names.
Yeah.
Like, he is 19 and he's been friends with these people since he was 7. Yeah. And he knows what country they live in and that they're like in school or they're working, but he doesn't know like what city they live in. He doesn't know their real name. And he's like, we just kind of like it that way. And I'm like, so baffled by that.
I think that's just a guy thing because Brad has several friends like that.
I don't know. I kind of feel like everybody's always like, don't meet your internet friends. And I mean, if we hadn't done that,
we wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. We
wouldn't be here. We've been on road trips together. Like, and I know Jerry says all the time when I say, he's like, I don't know if you should just meet people from the internet. And I'm like, that's how I met Bianca. And he's like, that was different. You guys already had mutual friends and you lived in towns 20 minutes from each other. And I'm like, yeah, but we wouldn't have met if it weren't for the internet. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because,
Jerry.
I know. Jerry's like, it's not the same. But like this made me Jake and Ebenezer made me think of Caden and all his friends, and I was like, it is weird, but also like it's not weird. Like I still sometimes I'm like, I'll ask Caden, I'll be like, how is like Dee Dee doing today? And he'll be like, I don't know. I'm like, you said he was sick, and he's like, yeah, he's been sick. And I'm like, is he okay? I guess. And I'm like, oh my God. See, me, you and Susan would be like, are you okay? Can I send you something? Like, do you want me to DoorDash you soup? Like, how can I help? Like, I know I'm hours away. And they're like, yeah, either he gets back online or he doesn't. And I'm like, what? And that's Jake and Ebenezer. They're like, yeah, either he shows up or he doesn't. Yeah. I love him, but whatever.
Well, because throughout the story, Belle will tell Clara things and it's like, well, I just don't know about X, Y, and Z, or I need Ebenezer to do this in order to continue this relationship. And so Clara goes to Jake and is like, hey, have you talked to Eb about this? And he's like, no, why would I talk to him about that?
He's like, why would we discuss such things? And I'm like, because you're bros. I'm just saying, like.
But at the same time, Belle could have told that stuff to Ebb instead of going through the web. So
this is true, but I mean, think about the time, like Victorian London. You didn't have discussions like that. Like it was faux pas, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You didn't do that. Oh my God, these dogs are fighting right outside my bedroom door. They're play fighting. It's not like a real fight. They're like fighting, and it sounds like a herd of elephants. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but if you can, I swear I'm not doing anything weird over here. It is these dogs. Oh my God. The two big ones are like, let's go. Like I came in here the other day after I made my bed, and they're on top of my bed like WWE drag out. And I'm like, how about we not? Oh my God. So I'm sorry if it sounds like I have a herd of elephants in my house. I kind of do.
Well, the story does progress.
It does.
Eventually, Tom confesses to Clara that he does want to marry her, but he doesn't feel financially sound enough to where he can do that. He wants to be able to support her and any children that they have and not be destitute.
Which is sweet, but it's also like if everybody waited to get married until they actually had money, would any of us ever really get married?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But Tom has these grand plans to open different tea stalls like throughout the city, basically. And Clara's like, well, I know a guy that can help. So she and Tom go to Jake and Ebenezer to ask for a loan to start the business. They're like, okay, well, we'll give you this amount of money. You have 2 years to repay it with interest. And it's a lot of money. And Clara kind of freaks out and is like, why are you only giving us 2 years to pay this back? But on the flip side, 2 years is also a long time to wait to get married. So she's like hesitant about the loan, but at the same time, she's happy that we can just get the process rolling because she does want to marry Tom. She loves him.
Right.
There is an unfortunate turn of events, and Tom has ordered a bunch of tea from India, and an accident happens, and basically in the tea warehouse, all the tea is burned up. And back then, insurance wasn't a thing, so there's no way to recoup any of that money.
Or if you did have real insurance, it was like really shady, and like anybody could take insurance out on anybody. It was very weird. Like I could be like, oh, well, Bianca's my best friend and she's in a hardship, so I'm going to take insurance on her. And then like the person would die mysteriously and they'd be like, well, I had insurance on them. Like it was so weird how it worked.
Yeah. But he didn't have any of that. So he decides to pour all the rest of his money into just the one tea stall instead of opening 4 different ones. And of course it fails. He can't recoup all of that money back in time, running off just one tea stall, plus all the money that he has to pay back to the tea company that burned up.
Right.
They try to make the best of it. And in the midst of all of this happening, Belle shows up and says that she has ended her engagement with Ebenezer. And Clara can tell a difference in Belle in just the way, like, she's lost a lot of weight from all the stress that they've been under. She looks like a shell of herself, like she's visibly gray, drained of color.
So sad.
So she's worried about her friends. She's worried about her fiance. Like, everything's falling apart for this woman. And on top of that, keep in mind, she is a sickly woman as well.
Right.
So Tom and Clara meet with Scrooge and Marley. And I'm going to start calling them Scrooge and Marley at this point, because this is where they literally turn into the characters that we know them as. The meeting does not go well, and they demand repayment of the loan. And Tom is so heartbroken that he breaks up with Clara to save her from destitution. And then Clara basically like goes off on Jacob whenever he comes home that day, and then she faints.
Yep. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. We're nearing the end, y'all. It's a short book.
It is. It's I don't know how many pages. I'll look while you keep talking.
It's 112.
112. Okay. Yeah. I think that's why we were like, yeah, that's the pick.
Yeah. Which I kind of want to end it there because there's still 3 chapters left after that.
Yeah.
Do you want to mention anything that happens after that? Did anything grab you?
I I just think the major themes that people need to realize when they're going into this novella is that you've got poverty and social injustice. There's family bonds, moral choices, and there are redemption routes that do kind of happen. And it sets up perfectly. Like, if you've never read A Christmas Carol, even though it's older than this book, obviously, because it's from, it's a Dickens story, but like, if you've never read it and you read this first, it sets it up perfectly. And I feel like this author did a great job of writing a new book to an old, like a prequel to a very old, very well-known book. And it just, like, in my opinion, the way that the flow of it just works and takes you straight into A Christmas Carol. I really appreciated that. I really appreciate that it kind of reveals the emotional heart behind who Jacob Marley was, because obviously when we get to A Christmas Carol, we get told who Jacob is, right? We get told that, he was Ebenezer's partner and, they were both kind of miserly together, but it's what made his passing made Ebenezer worse, kind of thing. So to me, it really deepens the moral foundation in that story. It makes Jacob more human and kind of more tragic. Sorry, I can't talk. But I do appreciate the atmosphere that she presents to us. Like, to me, at points, even though it was a novella, I felt like I was on these foggy Victorian London candlelit streets. And I really felt the hardship and the sacrifice. And
it is very atmospheric. I'll put it that way.
It's a very, you do get that haunting cost and that bittersweet. It is a bittersweet holiday read. I'm not sure if I still feel like it would be, because it was described to us initially with our quick, I think it was like a 1 or 2 sentence we found somewhere that said it was like cozy Christmas prequel. And I don't know if I would call it cozy.
Yeah, no, it's not cozy.
I think that is deceiving. I think it's great. And I think, I don't reread A Christmas Carol every year. I have some books that I reread every year. I have reread Christmas Carol a bunch of times, and I think next time I do a reread of Christmas Carol, I would reread this with it, because it's not that much more. Yeah. They're both basically novellas at the end of the day. I think the original telling of A Christmas Story is, how many pages was it? Like 90 or something like that.
I know the manuscript was 66 pages.
66, but yeah. So, I mean, they're both novellas, so I feel like reading them together as like a duology, is a really good recommendation, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there you have it. That is giving you Miss Marley, A Christmas Ghost Story, a prequel to Dickens' Christmas Carol. That is the official title. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 stars from me, 5 stars from Bianca. If you do choose to read it, it's a quick read too, especially if you're trying to close out your yearly totals. Like you got like a little bit to go, and it'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I say yeah, now I feel like I'm Chip. Yeah, do it, lady. Do it, lady. Yeah, read it. Do it, lady. Do it.
Do you have any recent reads and or acquisitions that you want to tell us about, Miranda?
I've been trying to behave on acquisitions because I am technically still at my mother's. I do go look at a house next week. My husband will be in from Europe next week, and I look at a house next week. So,
golf clap, yay!
Yeah. Yay. So send all the juju vibe, whatever it is you do, send that my way. So I do have a car yay. I have a car. I have my own car. I should have one for my husband next week. And then we're going to look at a house. So it's slowly coming together, but I've been trying to behave with the acquisitions, and I have bought things, but they've been mainly all Christmas gifts lately. But I've talked about this briefly on the TikTok, but I'll mention it here. I currently am making my way. I'm reading 3 books at once. And hear me out.
That does not surprise me.
Well, it doesn't surprise you, but they're all Advents.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm doing the same one that Kelly is doing, The Heart for Christmas by Sophie Jomain. Adult, well, I don't know if it's an adult. I haven't come across anything that's spicy, but it's like an Advent romance. And I appreciate how this one is done because each chapter is like bound together, kind of where you like slice down this perforation. And so each day is like in that perforated, like stuck together section, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so nothing ever gets spoiled. I did a quick video about it on our TikTok. And then I have another one that my mom and I are doing together because it is a book. But it's like you're having to solve puzzles and stuff. Like you're actively having to like work your way through it. And I recommend it. We haven't finished it yet. So it's called, don't worry about putting this title down. Just put Mystery Escape Room Advent.
Okay.
No, it's long. It's long. So technically it's called Mystery Escape Room Advent Calendar. 24 secrets are hidden in Bramblewood Cabin. Will you solve them all before Christmas? And on the book itself, I cannot find an author anywhere, but according to Fable, it's Nicklas Falkner.
Okay.
I would say, in my opinion, ordering the paperback. So it has a Kindle version and it's intended kind of for preview. It's got a lot of images in it because you need to like work things out, and it describes like a scene in a room, and then you need to see the room because like maybe the numbers on the clock or the amount of grommets on something are important, right? So I will say, I know I'm working my way through this book with a second person, but her and I have been really kind of blown away with how easy some of these are.
Yeah.
We finally had one last night that we were like, oh, huzzah. That one was a little more difficult. So, that one was finally a little bit more difficult. We feel that they're a little easy.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We had a Morse code one though, because I'm about to be gone for a few days because my husband is coming into town and we're going somewhere for a few days. So my mom and I have been doing like double nights. So I think the one that we did that we were finally like, oh, that one was a little hard, was the one that was actually supposed to be for today. And it involved doing like figuring out Morse code.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they do give you a chart in the front that gives you Braille, Morse code, Atbash, something else. Like it gives a different breakdown. So it is really cool. I do recommend it. It was pretty cheap on the Amazon, like $9, I think. It does say the Kindle version is in color and the paperback is in black and white. And there's some of these pages that the way it printed, the photo is like really, really dark. So I'm actually considering buying a second version on my Kindle so that we can view these a little better.
I wonder why one's in black and white, one's in color.
Maybe just the price of printing, because it is one of those that like when you open the two of the back, it says printed, it's like made in the USA, whatever, like it's printed through Amazon. Like,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably just cheaper. And like, I imagine because it's only $9, if they printed it in color, it would be way more significant. Maybe I think people won't buy it.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. But it's fun, and I love a good advent calendar, so I thought it was a good way to, like, it's not an advent calendar that's going to give me things, because right now I don't have room for things, right?
Yeah.
So and it's something that she and I can do together. So I'm really enjoying that one. Apparently there are a few others. I found this one. I think I just randomly found it on Amazon. It wasn't recommended to me or anything like that. But the next one that I bought, it is like a book, and it's a chapter a day style book. It's not broken up like the romance one, which I was a little sad about, but it's just like, hey, read a chapter a day. And it's called The XMas Day Butcher, a 25-day Christmas Advent thriller.
What in the world?
Yep, and it's by Spencer Guerrero. And I found out about this one from one of my, I think you and I are both in several different like Facebook groups where it's like if you're into thrillers or if you're into romance or whatever. And it was posted in one of my thriller groups, and it literally just became available for purchase like November 1st or something like that. Like it's brand new from my understanding. And it's only 194 pages. Yeah, it was just released this year. And it's interesting. It's set in a very creepy town of Whispers Creek. A man named Lenny Frost has been pulled into a psychological game of terror after his wife goes missing. And during the span of 24 days leading up to Christmas, he must follow a series of Christmas-related clues it's a twisted, like, sinister game created by someone named the Xmas Day Butcher. And this butcher needs Lenny to learn the dark history of who he is before Christmas. If he doesn't follow the twisted instructions, then his wife he's like, hey, your wife, you'll never see her again. She's going to die. Like, you have to follow the rules. So you've got this like snowfall and joyous Christmas spirit, but there's like this truly dark and sinister thing like hiding beneath the surface. And I do love a good thriller. This is different. So I've got a romance one, a thriller one, and then a just like try to solve the mystery one. The other one so far hasn't been like scary or anything, but it's been, they kind of set the ambiance. They set the tone. I forgot to kind of say it, but I'll mention it real quick. The 24-day Advent Bramblewood cabin one. I have a critique that I think is only fair to put out there. And I apologize, Nicklas Falkner. Sorry, I'm going to butcher. I had to look at his name again. I keep wanting to say Nicholas, but it's not Nicklas. It's Nicklas. Like, yeah. Okay. And that's probably a pen name. If you ever want to do another one of these, and you would like a proofreader, I know 3 women that would love to proofread for you. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you're going to mention about that.
That's all there is to say about that. I still recommend it. It was cheap. It's fun. I'm enjoying myself. I would do more. I just, you can tell it's indie published. That's all. That's that. I'll do it for free. Just give me a copy of the book. I just feel like other people should be aware of that. So, that's it. So yeah, that's what I'm currently reading, and that I technically have acquiesced all of those in the past little bit. Since it is December and we're asking each other, like, what are you reading and what have you purchased? I want to remind everyone what you're reading, and we'll go over this in January, whether we met it or not. But what was your goal for the year, and where are you sitting right now today? I may have lost Bianca.
My microphone muted itself. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So I've got a herd of elephants. Your microphone said not today.
I was like, why is she not talking? Because she's waiting on me, and then my microphone's not working.
Yeah, because I was like, where are you at? Yeah, I was like, remind everyone what your goal was and where you're sitting at today. And then it went dead silent. And I was like,
my goal was 52. I'm at 60 something.
I'm so proud of you. Well, you were very unsure because of like work and just different life things. So you set your goal lower this year, I think.
Yeah. Well, I always set it at 52 at first, just because that's a book a week. And I know I can hit that. So yeah, if I don't hit that, something's wrong.
Right. So my goal was 80 and I just hit 79. So nice. Since I'm reading 3 right now.
But you're not going to hit triple digits like last year.
No, it just wasn't possible. Like, I don't remember at what point in the year it was we realized we were moving, but you remember kind of like when that started happening, and then some people knew we were moving, so they came to visit us in Europe because they were like, oh, we haven't got to come see you in Europe yet. And even though you're coming home, we want to come to Europe. So it's just, I've had a lot going on this past year. So triple digits were not going to happen. It was not going to happen. I am definitely probably going to go over my goal by a little bit, but I predict I'll hit 85.
I was hoping I'll hit 70, but I don't think I'll hit 70 this year. Just because I know the last few I want to read that I'll talk about in a minute. The last few I'm reading are thicker. So
the chunkers.
Yeah. So, some recent reads that I want to mention. One, The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. So I have put off reading Freida for a hot minute just because if something is like super duper popular, I always wait a little while to read it. Like I was not one of the original Fourth Wing girlies. I didn't get into it till after Iron Flame came out. And Freida's another one where it's like, oh, she's everywhere. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to put this author on hold.
Well, that was why I didn't for so long. We talked about that recently. Like I just read my first, I am still reading that other one. Like I kind of laid it down, but yeah, I was with you. It's like, she's either everyone loves her or everyone hates her and she's everywhere.
Well, and since the Housemaid movie is coming out next week, I think it's next week.
I think so.
I was like, I need to read this because I do want to see the movie. The movie looks intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
The mid-book plot twist of The Housemaid about took me out. I was sitting there reading. I think I was reading it on the couch, and I said, "Excuse me," literally out loud. And I was reading it on my tablet. I set it down, and I had to get up and walk around for a second. I was like, "Oh."
That says something to me then, because you and I usually figure it out.
I thought I had it figured out. I did not. And it was literally in the middle of the book.
That makes me happy then. Because like I just to repeat myself, you and I usually figure it out.
Yeah. But now, having read the book, I'm super excited about the movie just because of who they have cast for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all, I'm in this. I gave The Housemaid 5 stars.
The casting is good. I'll give you that.
Because I did not see that plot twist coming so early in the book.
I don't know why I thought you had read this already.
Nope. Because it's been on my list for a while, so you probably just see it on my list whenever I add something to it.
Maybe that's what it is. Kind of like there was another one you thought I had read, and I was like, no, not quite.
Yeah. If you follow us on Instagram, I normally do a once a week poll to help y'all choose what I'm going to read for the week. Yeah. A couple weeks ago, everyone chose The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo for me.
You didn't like it like I did.
It was set in the Spanish Inquisition.
It was. Mm-hmm.
And somehow they made the Spanish Inquisition boring. I don't know. I didn't know that was possible.
I saw your rating on it and I was like, oh, another one where I liked it.
I gave it 3 stars because, I mean, it wasn't bad, but
I gave 4.
It was just boring. I was like, when's some...
You're muted again.
It did it on its own. That was the
you know what? I was joking earlier, and I was like, "It's the ghost of Marley. It's him again." He's like, "Y'all not talking about my book anymore."
It was literally like it's on our program. The microphone thing was blocked red. I didn't even click on it. My mouse was 2 screens over.
And normally, sometimes I can unmute you, and it was like, "You cannot unmute this person." And I was like, "What?
What is happening?" Anyways, so
it hates us 2 weeks, 2 times in a row. It hates us.
So Leigh Bardugo made the Spanish Inquisition boring. Nothing ever happened. 3 stars. Let me write that down before I forget. The Familiar. I will add it to the show notes.
Like begrudgingly.
I mean, like I didn't hate it. It was just so boring. I was just ready to be done with it. No, not The Familiarity. Google thinks it knows what I'm typing. Another one that I want to mention is The Things Gods Break.
Yes.
By, who's that? Oh, Abigail Owen. This is number 2 in the Crucible series. I have this, if you remember when I read the first one, I was like, it's okay. The plot's good. I'll continue it for the plot. The plot changed, like, from the first book. And it was all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey in book 2.
Which I'm okay with, if done right.
It was too much. It was
too much timey wimey.
Yes, way too much. And considering that wasn't even a part of book 1, so I wasn't prepared for it. Like, I didn't know that was an option.
So did like contradict itself?
No, it just explored something that you wouldn't think Greek gods could time travel.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that they could time travel, to be very honest with you.
And it kind of rehashes what happens in book 1 from a different perspective. So that was kind of cool. But it was also almost 700 pages. It needed an editor.
Oh,
desperately. That book should not have been 680 some pages long.
That is insane.
It should have been like 350, 400 max. Shit. Oh, I never thought that book was going to end. I gave it 3 stars because once again, it was meh. It wasn't bad. The writing was good, but it wasn't great. So it's just a mid book. I read some mid books this round. The final one I will mention, because I am currently reading it, is The Mysterious Benedict Society. This is another one that the lovely Instagram followers chose for me.
Mm-hmm. I voted on it too.
Well, it was technically a tie between this one and A Curse So Dark and Lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't decide how to do a tiebreaker. So I was like, I'll just choose one. So I chose this one. Just because I haven't read a kid's book in a hot minute. And this is technically a children's series, but I'm really liking it so far. I'm on page 107, whatever chapter that is. These chapters are long for a kid's book, which this book is long for a kid's book.
Well, is it middle grade? It's not YA. Is it mid grade?
I think it's middle grade. I'm trying to see how many pages it is. Where are you? Almost 500 pages. So that's long for a middle grade. But our mutual friend, Josh, he is a children's librarian. And he's always been, I was going to phrase that very badly. He's always liked children's books, like Lemony Snicket type books.
Same.
And he absolutely adores this series. So I'm reading this, Joshua, if you're listening.
Hey, Josh.
I'm really liking it so far. And that's all my recent reads. Mm-hmm. I did not purchase. Well, no, I lie. I did purchase one on Black Friday. I'm going to turn on my camera so you can see this in person, Miranda.
Okay.
I got your funky cover of Wuthering Heights.
I love it. I love it. You know I love it.
To describe this book for y'all at home, it's like Tim Burton.
Yes.
Drew the. I didn't show you the back cover. The back cover.
I don't think I've seen that. Oh.
But it's like they hired Tim Burton to do the cover art for this book. It's a Penguin Classic Deluxe edition. I found this copy at Barnes & Noble, but it's Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and it just looks creepy and gothic, which I know it's a gothic book, so like that's understandable. But you typically don't see this kind of artwork on a quote classic book. And with the new movie coming out, I was like, you know what? I need my own. I actually don't have a copy of Wuthering Heights, believe it or not. But this is also Bella and Edward's favorite book.
It is. I love how you said that.
But I do have some books that were gifted to me by our dear friend Susan. And she gave me a whole stack of them, but I'm only going to mention a few. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. And I believe this is a library binding. Yes. And then we have The City of Ember by Jeanne Duprat. This is another children's book, but it's always been on my TBR.
Let me see it.
I need to do camera.
There you go, yeah.
Here's The City of Ember. It's the one with the light bulb on it.
I don't remember this one. That's why I was like, let me see it.
Oh, no, it's been around. When were you published? 2003.
I just don't remember that.
Yeah.
I see you're graduated. Hi.
Here's The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
I love this book.
You've read it?
Yes, I love this book.
I've never read it. And then the final one it doesn't have a cover, but this is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I have read this one before. I just didn't own a copy.
Yeah, I have read that one as well. It's been a long time, but I have read it.
But if you want it's a dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a good dystopian, this is a series. So Scythe by Neil Shusterman. He has another a horror series that I really like. What is that called? I meant to look that up earlier. Maybe it's not Neil Shusterman. Crap. What am I thinking of? It's Irish. Where they come and get the kids while they're sleeping.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
About kidnapping kids. I'm gonna be on a list somewhere for. Nope.
Oh no! If I'm not, you're not.
It's
Seriously.
YA.
Like, if my husband still has the security clearance he has, and I'm not on a list somewhere, we're good. We're good. Things I read.
No, it's not The Chain. Oh, that's gonna bug me, and I'm gonna think of it after we.
You know
stop.
what? When you figure it out, add it to the show notes and it like an asterisk and be like
The Call by Pedair O'Gillian.
Yes.
I need copies of that. That can be a future Christmas present idea, by the way.
What is that? The Call?
Yeah.
I'll add it to my list of Bianca's.
It's fantasy folk horror. I was surprised I really liked that, but for some reason I thought Neil Shusterman wrote that. So that was just a rabbit hole I didn't mean to go down. My apologies. Pedair, Peadar.
Gillian.
Yeah. That guy.
Because there's multiple books to that.
Yes, it is a series.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all of my acquisitions. One last question for you, though, Miranda.
Okay.
What book do you want to end the year on?
Oh. So, technically, every year I reread a book. We talked about it last year, but I'll bring it up again. It is part of a series, and I've never actually read any of the rest of the series. But it's from 1973 by Susan Cooper, and it's called The Dark is Rising. And it follows along where you can literally read it. It's like the 12 days of Christmas. Like, you could read a chapter a day, which the 12 days of Christmas go like into the new year. So it wouldn't technically, it would kind of finish out the year, I guess I should say. And I just really love this story. So I think I will probably end the year with working on my yearly reread of The Dark is Rising. And if you've never read it, in my opinion, you can read it as a standalone. Many people will say that as well. I think I even talked about this last year.
Is that by Susan Cooper?
Yeah, that's Susan Cooper.
Okay.
There is actually a BBC production that I highly recommend that does it. They break it down daily. It is book 2 in the Dark is Rising series. And the book 2 is called The Dark is Rising. It is it's classified as middle grade and young adult. I think it's middle grade. It's like 300 pages long, and it's broke down in a way that you can actually follow it and read a chapter a day, kind of like an Advent. And as I was saying, the BBC actually does a full production, like radio production kind of story of it that you can find on like Audible. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's in a bunch of places that is like so immersive and really well done. And it even tells you like what day, like it would be like December, whatever, for you to follow along. So I'll probably end the year on that, but I am technically also reading that brand new Freida McFadden book. Is it The Intruder?
That sounds right.
It's playing on the other side of the room because I took it with me. Yeah, it's The Intruder by Freida McFadden. I actually bought it at the airport. It actually came out October 7th. and I bought it at the airport because when my bags got lost. And I needed something to read because, I didn't have any of my stuff. So I feel like I will end on one of those two or both of those, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be ending, hopefully, my year with The Will of the Many by James Islington.
Gotcha.
I say hopefully because it's another chonker. It's 640 pages.
Gee.
I hope it goes a lot better than Things Gods Break.
Oh, it's an elite academy. A young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries. Oh my God, I suddenly can't talk. And world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series. You know what? I'm going to want to read. I'll mark it.
Yeah. The second one just came out. It's called The Strange of the Few. The Few of the, what's it called? James,
I just need to know, it is an elite. I need to know if that's Kate Nan or
The Strength of the Few. I've been following people on TikTok who have been reading this series.
Yes.
And that anyone who reads the physical book is not pronouncing any of the names correctly. So since you're an audiobook person, whenever you do it, you'll have to let me know how to pronounce these names.
But see, here's the only thing I will say about that is it doesn't happen too often. Like, it doesn't happen very often at all. But I actually read via audiobook a series one time that it turns out the narrator was mispronouncing the last name of the family in the book for like 6 books.
Oh.
And I was like, why did it take... Because then the author came out and was like, hey, so none of us realized that she was mispronouncing the last name of the... Like, the author, like, didn't catch it because, like, you don't say the last name of the family that often. And they realized she was saying the last name wrong. So she, like, put a poll out to her readers and was like, do we have it edited? Do we have how were you pronouncing it? And I was like, well, you're the author. How did you want us to pronounce it? Like,
yeah.
So that's only happened like once or twice. But I will say, apparently sometimes narrators don't pronounce it correctly. Like, so I'll report back, and then maybe what we really need is for James Islington to come on his like socials and be like, Katanen or Katanen or tell us, James.
Well, he's also Australian, so he'll have an accent too.
Oh, crikey. You know what I'll do? I'll hand it to my husband's Australian counterparts and be like, what is this word? How do you say this? How should I say this? Where's the emphasis?
Well, if you want even more of these crazy shenanigans from us, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bells with Books Podcast. Like we said, Miranda is currently doing a giveaway, so go enter the giveaway. I try to do a weekly poll so y'all can help me choose what I'm going to read next on Instagram. If you want to follow me personally, I am at Stylin' Freak on pretty much every social media platform. You can type in Mom's a Nerd and Miranda will pop up for you.
Yeah.
And don't forget our YouTube. Miranda is working on getting all of our past episodes uploaded to the YouTube for your listening pleasure.
Almost completely current. It's just that everyone has to be uploaded. I have to re-upload with Bianca's show notes, and then YouTube has to do a copyright check. And so, I think this week we should be good, minus this one that we're recording now. Well, actually, by the time you hear this one, we should be fully good. Yeah.
And then Miranda, do you want to tell us what's happening on Place to Be Nation?
Yes, I am a little behind, but by the time you hear this, we have the 25 Days of Christmas. I'm about to dump the whole first week of the 25 Days of Christmas because this was just such a busy week. But we have my 25 Days of Christmas movie watch that is happening over on the Place to Be Facebook group. It will also be notated on the website in a couple of different places. So don't forget that we do have a website, placetobenation.com, where you can get links to every show of mine and Bianca's, as well as anybody else's that is on Place to Be Nation Pop Experience, and a link to all of the other brother-sister feeds that we share love and wealth with. And I will say, coming soon, for your listening pleasure, across all of the feeds will be our yearly Christmas play, I guess you can call it. It's like a narration, an audio drama, if you will. And we have been doing this for I don't know how many years running, but the script is written by Place to Be family members. It is all produced, directed, starred in by everyone, or by like a plethora of people here at Place to Be. Yours truly here will be in it. So, you know, sometimes it does center around wrestling, but it is usually very well done, very funny. We have a lot of talent here. A lot of people do really great voices. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know what the title of it going to be this year, but like you'll know it because it says something about like play or, you know, but please keep your ears open for that one. And I hope you enjoy, because a lot of work and coordination goes into this every single year. And if you're an audiobook person, you will definitely love it, because it's like basically this whole like production. And we hope you find it. We hope you enjoy it. And another year down for me and Bianca. So just want to say a quick thank you for 12 months of following us along on our shenanigans, chaos, crying, and laughing of 2025. And we hope that you stick around for 2026, because of right now, we have plans of not going anywhere. Even if you're tired of us, we're probably still going to be here. So thank you for listening always. You're welcome for talking, and keep on reading.